What's up, athletes? Time for another weekly check-in. I was just looking at your feedback on the form with your check-ins, and the vast majority of you are saying that you are exhausted mentally. Now, this is something really interesting, something that we need to figure out, and I'm glad I've started doing these feedback forms again because it's super helpful for this kind of data and research. So, the interesting correlation is every single person who said that they're exhausted mentally, they put that they are either getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night, Lucy, or between 6 and 8 hours of sleep each night. Now, all of you are teenagers, okay? I'm 22 and I still need at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I kind of find that the sweet spot for me is 8.5 hours. For you guys, you're looking at 8.5 to 9. Some of you, maybe even 9.5, especially if you're looking at a 15-hour training week or something really rigorous. You need your body and mind both need sleep in order to recover. I've talked to you independently or one-on-one, a bunch of you about this, but I'm going to reiterate it on here. Sleep is your friend. I don't know what you're going to need to change, but you're going to need to change something. Whether that's stop playing video games, stop scrolling social media. Maybe you need to work less hours if possible. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for you, but we've got to prioritize sleep, and it's got to be consistent. If you're going to bed at 8 p.m. and then 2 a.m. and then 11 o'clock and waking up at 6 and then 10 and then 9, you're simply not going to be able to perform as well. It's as simple as that. This is like clear, very scientific evidence research. There's so much that suggests that if we do not sleep well and consistently, we are not going to be able to perform as well. And the research is especially indicating that for anything over 30 minutes, it has an even more dramatic effect. So if we were all powerlifters and our entire event was 10 seconds long, it maybe wouldn't be as big of a deal. It'd still have an impact. But you guys, we're talking about huge, huge impact. Um, and it doesn't get easier getting consistent sleep. While you're in high school right now I mean, not all of you are in high school, but the majority of you are. While you are in high school, this is a great time for you to establish good sleep habits. So a little bit for sleep hygiene, save your bedroom for sleep. Don't don't scroll on your phone in your bed or watch movies or play video games or whatever it is you're doing. And turn off all screens at least an hour before going to bed. So if you and then you have to think really forward. Some of you guys have practiced at 6 a.m. Okay, 6 a.m. That means 5:30 a.m. Wake up at the latest if you're able to get going quick in the morning, which means you really should be going to bed by like 8:39, which might sound insane, but you guys, this is actually such a big deal if you want to be able to perform at your best. Um, and so that means that around 7:30, you're going to put the phone away, you're going to put the computer away, you're going to put the movies away, and you're going to start a bedtime routine. It doesn't really matter what it is. It can just be like things like brushing your teeth, getting your pajamas on, maybe reading a little bit before going to bed, journaling. Those kinds of things are all really helpful for helping the mind to wind down. Um, Now I need to make some changes myself as well here. I In high school I was very, very good with my sleep. I was getting really consistent, really good sleep. Now in college I'm also trying to manage dating and relationships and other things like that. It makes it a little bit trickier and more inconsistent. And I've seen a decrease in my performance because of it. Sleep really is so important um, for your mental clarity, which translates well to your physical abilities on the bike. So please, please, please prioritize sleep, all of you. I want you all to be able to perform well. And even if you are performing well, just think about how much better you could perform if your sleep became consistent. This is another one of those, I don't know, I think I've mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned in one of these videos, but I have in my podcast about the pillars of training, where people will do all the physical training and they'll wonder why they're not fast. And what I do is I ask, well, what does your nutrition look like and what does your sleep look like? And I think the fourth pillow is your self-talk, the way you talk to yourself in your brain, or sports psychology, that kind of pillar. So even if your physical aspect is fantastic, even if it's perfect, if those other three pillars aren't there, you're not really gonna actually be that good. Like you'll be fine, but it's like I don't know. You need all four pillars. You really do. It's like a stool. You'd be balancing on one leg. It's just super. You might every once in a while be able to put together a really good performance, but if you want to be able to consistently sit on the stool, then you need to have all four pillars. So exhausted mentally, folks. If you are getting good sleep, you can ignore this video and watch it if you ever start having, if it ever becomes an issue for you. But please, please, please prioritize good sleep. Oh, the other thing too is the earlier the sleep, the better. There's a lot of research that shows that your sleep before midnight is actually more beneficial for your muscle recovery and your mental recovery. And so that is also important to prioritize. Make sure you're getting to bed early if possible. Athletes will sometimes say things like, oh, I just felt kind of off today, or I felt off at this race, or I felt kind of sluggish, or I wasn't able to respond as well. And I would say 90% of the time, those issues are a direct result of poor sleep, either the night before or multiple nights before. And a lot of research also suggests that we don't actually run off the sleep the night before, but rather 2 nights before. So if you're racing on Saturday, make sure you're getting good sleep on Thursday. That's very, very important. And always, I mean, really, it comes back to consistency. It's like training. If you're not consistent in your training, you're going to have a really hard time being consistent in your racing. It's just not going to happen. And if you're not consistent in your sleep, you're probably going to have a hard time being consistent in your training, therefore a hard time being consistent in racing. And if you just don't have good sleep in general, you're not going to be able to race as well. So I think I can get off my soapbox now about sleep, but please, all of you, go catch some Z's. This is so, so important. If you have any questions, comment below or shoot me a message. Thanks, guys. Let's go up, Goats.